The vast chamber of the Galactic Council stretched upward into darkness, its high ceiling lost in shadows. Thousands of alien representatives sat in curved rows that rose like steps in an ancient amphitheater. The air hummed with whispers and barely suppressed laughter as Ambassador Jinho Park stood at the central podium, his back straight and his expression calm. The massive holographic display behind him showed Earth's first interstellar vessel, the ESS Pioneer. Its bulky fusion drives and thick radiation shielding made it look like a child's drawing compared to the sleek, almost artistic ships of the assembled species. Jinho could hear the quiet snickers and see the dismissive gestures among the alien delegates. High Counselor Merrick, a tall figure with iridescent scales that shifted colors in the chamber's soft light, leaned forward in his elevated seat. His long fingers tapped against the metallic surface of his desk, creating a sound like falling rain. "Ambassador Park," he said, his universal translator giving his words a slight echo. "You mean to tell us that this vessel represents the peak of human engineering?" Jinho nodded, maintaining his diplomatic smile. "Yes, Counselor. The ESS Pioneer is our first step into the galactic community. We are proud of what our engineers have accomplished." This statement triggered another wave of barely contained laughter. A representative from the Centaurian Alliance, a being made of crystalline structures that caught and reflected light, actually made a sound like tinkling bells, their species equivalent of a guffaw. Behind Jinho, his assistant Hei-Yun Lee stood with a data pad in her hands. To anyone watching, she appeared to be simply taking notes, but her fingers were actually sending encrypted messages back to Earth through quantum channels hidden within the supposedly primitive communication system of their ship. "Message received," proceeding as planned, flashed briefly across her screen before disappearing. Colonel Ta Min Kang, their military attaché, maintained his position slightly behind and to the right of Jinho. His ceremonial uniform, with its deliberately outdated design, added to the image of a species just beginning to understand interstellar travel. But beneath his stoic expression, his cybernetic implants, carefully hidden from alien scanners, were recording every detail of the chamber and its occupants. "Tell me, Ambassador," a delegate from the Regilian Empire called out, "how long does it take your impressive vessel to travel between star systems?" "Surely no more than a few years." The sarcasm in their voice was thick enough to cut with a knife. Jinho consulted his outdated-looking tablet. The ESS Pioneer can achieve approximately 1/10 light speed at maximum sustainable thrust. A journey to Alpha Centauri would take about 43 years. The chamber erupted in undisguised laughter now. Several delegates turned to their neighbors, making exaggerated gestures of disbelief. High Counselor Merrick raised a scaled hand for silence, though his own amusement was evident in the rapid color changes rippling across his scales. "Ambassador Park," Merrick said, "while we appreciate your species' achievement, you must understand that by galactic standards, your technology is rather primitive. Perhaps we should discuss terms for technological assistance. For a reasonable exchange of resources, of course." Jinho bowed slightly. "You are most generous, Counselor. However, humanity wishes to develop at its own pace. We believe there is value in learning through our own efforts." This statement triggered more laughter and head-shaking among the delegates. A representative from the Arcturus Confederation actually stood up and left the chamber, apparently unable to contain their mirth. Hei-Yun's fingers moved across her pad again, sending another encrypted message. "Phase 1 complete. Reaction exactly as predicted." Colonel Kang shifted his weight slightly, his movement catching Jinho's attention. Their eyes met briefly, sharing a moment of understanding. Deep in the solar system, hidden in the storms of Jupiter and the methane seas of Titan, humanity's true fleet waited, ships with technology that would make these laughing delegates choke on their amusement. But that revelation would come later. For now, they would play their roles perfectly. The naive species, the barely spacefaring civilization, the primitive humans who needed guidance and protection. Very well, High Counselor Merrick said finally. We welcome Earth to the galactic community. Such as it is, we will assign you observer status, of course. It would be inappropriate to grant full membership to a species at your level of development. Jin Ho bowed again, deeper this time. We are honored by your generosity, High Counselor. Earth looks forward to learning from the greater galactic community. As they left the chamber, their primitive shuttle waiting to take them back to the ESS Pioneer, He-Yun sent one final message. Operation Humble Beginning is underway. They suspect nothing. The three humans maintained their composed expressions until they were safely aboard their shuttle. Only then did Jin Ho allow himself a small smile. The galaxy thought they had welcomed a primitive species today. They would learn differently, in time. But for now, humanity would wait, and watch, and prepare. And the aliens' laughter would echo in their memories until the day of revelation came. Deep beneath the streets of Seoul, Defense Minister Sun Mi-choi stood before a wall of holographic displays. The secure facility, known only to a handful of people on Earth, monitored humanity's greatest deception. Blue light from the screens cast shadows across her face as she watched another primitive human vessel launch from Kazakhstan. The ship looked bulky and slow, exactly what the galactic community expected from humanity. Its fusion drives glowed with obvious power signatures, making sure every alien sensor in the solar system could track its ungainly progress toward Mars. Right on schedule, Sunmi murmured, checking the time. Let them all see it. Chief Engineer Do-hyun Kim entered the control room, his tablet displaying real-time data from their hidden shipyards. Minister, you'll want to see this, he said, pulling up a secure feed from Titan. The holographic display shifted to show massive construction facilities, hidden beneath the methane seas of Saturn's largest moon. Sleek vessels, nothing like the clumsy ships Earth publicly launched, were taking shape in the automated yards. Their quantum drives and dimensional shields represented technology that would make the laughing aliens choke on their superiority. How many now? Sunmi asked, studying the numbers scrolling past. 500 completed vessels in the Jupiter yards alone, Do-hyun reported. Another 300 nearing completion in Titan. The atmospheric disturbances in both locations continue to mask our energy signatures perfectly. A light flashed on Sunmi's console, another alien observation ship entering the solar system. With practiced ease, she activated the deception protocols. Across Earth, carefully orchestrated activities began. Scientists publicly discussed fusion drive improvements. Universities released papers about theoretical faster-than-light travel that were just slightly wrong. Construction sites for next-generation ships revealed exactly what the aliens expected to see. The Draconians are getting curious, Do-hyun noted, highlighting a cluster of alien signals near Neptune. Their observation posts have increased by 30% in the last month. Sunmi smiled. Let them watch. Every primitive launch convinces them further. How are the quantum drive tests proceeding? Exceeded all expectations, Do-hyun replied, pride evident in his voice. The latest models can cross the galaxy in days, not the years we pretend to need. And the dimensional shields make our ships practically invulnerable to known weapons. A message flashed across their screens, another successful test deep within Jupiter's storms. The massive gas giant had proven perfect for hiding humanity's true technological progress. Its massive radiation belts and atmospheric disturbances masked any unusual energy signatures. Minister, a voice called from the communication station. Ambassador Park reports the Galactic Council is discussing a technological assistance package again. They're quite insistent about helping the poor, primitive humans. Sunmi's laugh held no humor. Of course they are. Tell him to accept their basic ship design documents with appropriate gratitude. Our analysis team will make sure to incorporate just enough of their visible technology into our next public vessel to show we're learning. Do-hyun brought up another display, this one showing the latest alien technology they'd been offered. Remarkable how they always seem to offer us outdated systems, he observed. nothing less than 50 years behind their current capabilities. They see what they expect to see, Sunmai said, watching another feed from their hidden shipyards. A young species, barely able to reach their own moon when first contact happened. They expect us to be grateful for their scraps of knowledge. The next hours passed in careful monitoring and constant adjustments to their deception. Every public transmission, every visible construction project, every scientific paper released had to maintain the illusion of a struggling species just beginning to understand interstellar travel. Near the end of her shift, Sunmai received a priority message from the Jupiter yards. She read it twice, then turned to Do-hyun with a rare smile. The new stealth systems are ready for testing. Full spectrum invisibility, not just to sensors but to light itself. Should I order a test run? Do-hyun asked, already preparing the necessary commands. No, Sunmai decided after a moment's thought. We'll save that surprise for when it matters most. For now, let's give our alien friends something else to laugh about. She pulled up the designs for their next public vessel, making sure it looked appropriately primitive and inefficient. As she prepared to leave for the night, Sunmai paused at the main display. The real-time feed showed Earth's true fleet, hidden but growing stronger every day. Soon, the galaxy would learn the cost of underestimating humanity. But not yet. For now, they would continue to build, to prepare, and to smile politely at the galaxy's condescension. In the depths of space, another primitive human vessel lumbered toward Mars, broadcasting its fusion drive signatures for all to see. And deep within Jupiter's storms, humanity's true ships waited in silence, their quantum drives ready to rewrite the galaxy's understanding of what humans could achieve. The deception would continue, day by day, year by year, until the moment was right. And when that day came, the laughter would stop. Admiral Ji Won-yoon watched the patterns of lights shift across the massive tactical display. The hidden command center beneath the Pacific Ocean tracked every ship movement in the solar system. Red dots marked the positions of draconian vessels gathering at the edge of human space, their numbers growing day by day. Intelligence Director Min Ji-ryu stood beside him, her fingers moving through the holographic display to highlight suspicious movement patterns. Third Fleet movement this month, she said quietly. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They don't think they need to, Ji-won replied, zooming in on a cluster of alien signatures. Look at their formation. Classic invasion staging. They're not expecting any real resistance. The command center hummed with quiet activity. Officers monitored communications, tracked energy signatures, and maintained the elaborate deception that kept Earth's true capabilities hidden. Every few minutes, another report would come in about alien vessels testing the boundaries of human space. Latest intercept. An analyst called out, "The draconian commander is mocking our border patrols. Says our ships move like drunken space whales." Ji-won allowed himself a small smile. Send the usual response. Apologize for any accidental violations of their space, and remind them of our primitive tracking systems. Min Ji brought up another display, this one showing the positions of Earth's hidden fleet. Hundreds of advanced warships waited in the storms of Jupiter and the methane seas of Titan, their quantum drives and dimensional shields ready for action. None of them appeared on any alien sensors. The Draconians are getting bolder, she noted, highlighting new movement patterns. Their scout ships are pushing deeper into the asteroid belt. Last week, one of them almost stumbled onto a hidden sensor array. Almost, Ji-won emphasized. Our stealth technology held. They saw exactly what we wanted them to see. Empty space and primitive human mining operations. A flash of light on the display drew their attention. Another draconian battle group had just emerged from faster-than-light travel near Pluto. Their energy signatures suggested heavy weapons and shield systems far beyond what Earth supposedly possessed. They're not even bothering with diplomatic pretense anymore, Min Ji said, studying the new arrivals. Those are warships, plain and simple. Ji-won nodded, watching the alien vessels take up attack positions. 7 years of watching us stumble around with fusion drives and basic shields. They think they know exactly what we're capable of. The tactical display updated again, showing more alien ships arriving. The Draconians weren't alone anymore. Other species had begun positioning their fleets nearby, all of them probably hoping to claim a piece of Earth's territory when the invasion began. "Sir," a communications officer called out. "Another message from the Galactic Council. They're concerned about the high level of fleet activity near Earth space. They're offering to send peacekeepers to protect us." "How generous of them," Jai-1 said dryly. "Inform Ambassador Park to thank them for their concern, but assure them Earth can handle its own defense." Min-Ji brought up the 100-year plan on a secure screen. The complex document, created decades before first contact, had predicted this exact scenario. The aliens would watch, they would mock, and eventually they would grow bold enough to try taking Earth's resources by force. "Everything is proceeding exactly as planned," Jai-1 murmured, studying the tactical display again. Their arrogance makes them predictable. A sensor operator spoke up. "Admiral, the Draconian fleet is conducting live-fire exercises just beyond the Kuiper Belt. Their weapons signatures are significant. Let them practice," Jai-1 replied calmly. "Every demonstration tells us more about their capabilities, and every show of force makes them more certain of their superiority." Min-Ji highlighted a new cluster of alien ships. "They're forming into attack groups. Classic invasion pattern. I estimate 2 weeks, maybe less, before they make their move." Jai-1 nodded, watching the red dots multiply on the display. Soon, the aliens would learn the cost of underestimating humanity. But not yet. For now, they would continue to watch, to gather data, and to wait. "Send word to the hidden fleet," he ordered. "Maintain complete radio silence. Let no ship move without direct authorization. When the moment comes, we'll need perfect coordination." The command center continued its quiet work as more alien vessels gathered at the edge of human space. On the surface, Earth appeared vulnerable, defended only by its primitive ships and basic weapons. Deep within the gas giants, humanity's true fleet waited in silence, ready to teach the galaxy a lesson about appearances. "Let them come," Jai-1 said softly, watching another Draconian battle group arrive. "Everything is proceeding according to plan." The Draconian warships appeared above the lunar colony without warning, their weapons already charging. Massive vessels, their hulls gleaming with advanced technology, filled the space between Earth and its moon. The colony's primitive defense systems activated, launching outdated missiles that the alien shields easily deflected. Fleet Commander Jae-Sung-Oh stood on the bridge of his cloaked command ship, the ESS Shadow, watching the attack unfold. His vessel, hidden by technology the aliens couldn't even imagine, floated invisibly among the enemy fleet. "Status report," he ordered quietly, his voice calm despite the destruction being unleashed below. "The lunar colony's evacuation was completed 6 hours ago, sir," his executive officer reported. "All civilians were moved to the underground bunkers. The surface structures are empty." On the main view screen, Draconian energy weapons tore through the colony's outer domes. The aliens had expected to find thousands of helpless humans. Instead, they found only carefully crafted props and automated systems maintaining the illusion of occupation. "Launch the response fleet," Jae-Sung commanded. "Remember, make it look good." Earth's defensive fleet emerged from behind the moon. Old fusion dry ships, their weapon systems deliberately outdated, moved to engage the Draconian forces. The aliens' superior weapons cut through them easily, exactly as planned. "Maintain radio chatter," Jae-Sung ordered. "Let them hear our panic." His communications officer began broadcasting carefully scripted messages, making sure they were easily interceptable. "This is Earth Defense Force. We're under attack. Multiple ships lost. Requesting immediate assistance." The Draconian fleet pressed forward, their confidence growing with each easy victory. Earth's ships retreated in apparent disarray. some of them making basic tactical errors that any competent commander would avoid. "Sir," his sensor officer reported, "they're falling for it completely. Their formation is loosening as they pursue our retreating vessels." Jae-sung nodded, watching the alien fleet spread out. In their arrogance, they had abandoned proper combat spacing. Why maintain tight formation when fighting such primitive opponents? "New contacts," another officer called out. 3 more draconian battle groups entering the system. They're moving to cut off Earth's escape routes. From his hidden command ship, Jae-sung could see everything. The aliens thought they were watching a panicked, disorganized response from a primitive species. They didn't realize every move, every retreat, every seemingly desperate maneuver was carefully choreographed. "Send the distress signal to the Galactic Council," he ordered. "Make sure they're watching this." His communications officer transmitted the message. Soon, alien observers would arrive to witness humanity's apparent defeat. More witnesses to spread the word of Earth's weakness. The battle continued, Earth's ships falling back in seeming panic toward the planet. Draconian energy weapons flashed, destroying more of the decoy vessels. Each explosion was calculated to look real, while revealing nothing of humanity's true capabilities. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "the enemy commander is broadcasting victory messages. They're claiming total superiority over Earth's defenses." Jae-sung allowed himself a small smile. "Perfect. Have our ships begin the final phase of the retreat. Make it look desperate." Earth's remaining vessels broke formation, appearing to flee in terror from the advancing alien fleet. The Draconians pursued eagerly, their own formation becoming more dispersed as they chased their seemingly helpless prey. "Enemy fleet is now fully committed," his executive officer reported. "They've crossed the optimal engagement line." "Very good," Jae-sung said quietly. "Send the coded signal to Admiral Yoon. The trap is ready." Deep within Jupiter's storms and Titan's seas, humanity's true fleet received the message. Thousands of advanced warships powered up their quantum drives, preparing for the moment of revelation. But not yet. First, the aliens needed to commit themselves fully to their invasion. "Sir, the Draconians are preparing to launch their ground invasion forces," his sensor officer reported. "Their troop transports are moving into position." "Let them come," Jae-sung replied, watching the enemy ships move exactly where he wanted them. "Everything is proceeding according to plan." The massive view screen showed the Draconian fleet spreading across Earth's orbital space, their weapons ready to begin planetary bombardment. They believed they had crushed humanity's defenses. They thought victory was certain. Jae-sung stood on his invisible bridge, surrounded by technology that would make the aliens' weapons look primitive in comparison. Soon, very soon, the galaxy would learn the truth about human capabilities. But for now, he watched and waited as the trap slowly closed. "All units maintain radio silence," he ordered again, his voice carrying to every hidden ship in the solar system. "Let them think they've won. The real battle hasn't even begun." Defense Coordinator Yoo-jin Kwon stood in the heart of Titan Command, surrounded by holographic displays showing the positions of every ship in the solar system. The command center, hidden beneath the methane seas of Saturn's largest moon, hummed with controlled tension as the massive Draconian fleet pushed past Mars. "Confidence level of enemy forces?" she asked, watching the alien armada's steady advance. "Their communications indicate total certainty of victory," her intelligence officer reported. "They're already discussing how to divide Earth's resources among their fleet commanders." The holographic displays showed thousands of Draconian warships moving in attack formation. They had abandoned proper combat spacing, seeing no need for caution against what they believed to be a defeated enemy. Behind them, ships from other alien species followed at a distance, like scavengers trailing predators. "Status of our hidden fleet?" Yoo-jin asked, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "All vessels in position," her executive officer confirmed. "Jupiter Command reports ready. The Neptune squadrons are in place. Stealth systems are functioning at 100% efficiency." Jin nodded, watching as the alien fleet crossed another threshold marker. The trap had been years in the making, every detail carefully planned. The Draconians thought they were advancing to claim an easy victory. They had no idea they were walking into the largest ambush in galactic history. Signal from Earth Defense Command, an officer called out. Admiral Jai-1 confirms the enemy fleet has committed fully to the attack. No reserves have been held back. The tactical display updated, showing the alien fleet spreading out to surround Earth. Their weapons charge, preparing for what they thought would be a simple bombardment of a primitive world. "Show me the true tactical picture," Jin ordered. The holographic display shifted, revealing what the alien sensors couldn't see. Hundreds of advanced human warships waited in Jupiter's storms. More lurked in Saturn's rings. The Neptune squadrons floated invisible in the outer system. Each vessel carried weapons and defensive systems far beyond anything the Draconians possessed. "Enemy fleet has crossed the final marker," her tactical officer announced. "They've reached the point of no return." Jin straightened, her voice clear and firm. "Send the signal to Admiral Jai-1. We're ready." Moments later, Jai-1's voice crackled through the quantum communications network. "Execute Operation Thunderstorm. All ships, break stealth on my mark." Jin commanded. "Coordinate your quantum drives. We hit them from all sides simultaneously." The command center fell silent as the final countdown began. On the tactical display, the alien fleet continued their advance, completely unaware of the forces surrounding them. 3, 2, 1, mark. Space itself seemed to ripple as humanity's true fleet decloaked. The alien sensors must have gone crazy as thousands of advanced warships suddenly appeared around them. Human vessels emerged from Jupiter's storms, their quantum drives flaring with power the Draconians had never seen before. "Enemy fleet is attempting to regroup," her tactical officer reported with satisfaction. "Their formation is in chaos. They're broadcasting confusion on all frequencies." "Show me their command ship," Jin ordered. The display zoomed in on the Draconian flagship. Its weapons were trying to track multiple targets, its sensors overwhelmed by the sudden appearance of so many advanced vessels. "Open a channel to all enemy ships," she commanded. "Let's end this quickly." "Channel open." Jin's voice carried across space to every alien vessel. "Attention Draconian fleet. You have entered restricted space and engaged in hostile actions against Earth. You are surrounded by superior forces. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded." The response was immediate. Panic, confusion, and disbelief flooded the communication channels. The alien fleet tried to turn, to run, but found themselves caught in a perfect sphere of human warships. Enemy vessels attempting to engage FTL drives, an officer reported. "Activate the quantum locks," Jin ordered calmly. From her hidden command center beneath Titan's seas, she watched as humanity's true technology was revealed. The quantum locks engage, creating a field that made faster-than-light travel impossible within the solar system. The alien fleet was trapped. Message from Admiral Jai-1, her communications officer announced. "Operation Thunderstorm is fully engaged. The trap is complete." Jin nodded, watching as the mighty Draconian fleet realized just how thoroughly they had been deceived. Years of watching humanity's primitive ships, mocking their basic technology, had led them straight into this moment. "Send to all commands," she ordered. "The waiting is over. Show them what humanity can really do." Around the alien fleet, Earth's true warships moved into attack positions. Their quantum drives hummed with power, their dimensional shields ready. The galaxy was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating humanity. Space rippled and distorted around Neptune as Commander Kyung-ho Park gave the final command. Thousands of advanced human warships shimmered into visibility, their stealth fields dropping in perfect synchronization. The sleek vessels, with their quantum drive signatures now visible, formed an impenetrable wall around the Draconian invasion fleet. From his command chair aboard the ESS Thunderstorm, Kyung-ho watched the alien ships frantically adjusting their positions. Their sensors must have been going crazy, trying to process the sudden appearance of so many advanced vessels that shouldn't exist. "All ships report ready," his tactical officer announced. "Weapons locked on every enemy vessel. Quantum fields are stable." Kyung-ho nodded, his fingers moving across the holographic controls. "Open channels to all frequencies. Let everyone hear this." The communication system activated, and his voice carried across space to every ship in the solar system. "This is Commander Kyung-ho Park of the United Earth Fleet. You have entered restricted space. Your vessels are surrounded and targeted. Stand down immediately." The response was chaos. Draconian ships tried to turn, their engines flaring as they sought escape routes that didn't exist. Some of the smaller vessels attempted to activate their faster-than-light drives, only to find them blocked by human quantum technology. "Sir, we're receiving hundreds of transmissions from the enemy fleet," his communications officer reported. "Most of them are expressing disbelief." "Show me their flagship," Kyung-ho ordered. The main view screen shifted to show the massive Draconian command vessel. Its weapon ports were open, energy building up for what would have been a devastating attack against primitive Earth ships. But these weren't primitive ships, and the aliens were quickly realizing their mistake. "Their weapons can't penetrate our dimensional shields," his science officer noted with satisfaction. "Their sensors are still trying to understand what they're seeing." Kyung-ho allowed himself a small smile. "Send visual feed to all enemy vessels. Let them see exactly what they're facing." The tactical display lit up as data streamed to the alien ships. Images of Earth's true fleet, quantum drives glowing with impossible power, dimensional shields that could shrug off their strongest weapons, and targeting systems that made their best technology look primitive. "Sir, the Draconian commander is requesting communication," his executive officer reported. "Put them through." The alien commander appeared on screen, his scaled face showing a mixture of fear and confusion. This is impossible," he stammered. "Your species, you only have fusion drives. Basic shields. We've been watching you for years." "You saw what we wanted you to see," Kyung-ho replied calmly. "Every primitive ship, every basic technology, every apparent weakness was carefully planned. You walked into a trap generations in the making." Around the solar system, more human ships were revealing themselves. Vessels emerged from Jupiter's storms, rose from Saturn's rings, and appeared in the darkness between planets. Each one represented technology far beyond what the Galactic Council thought possible. "Sir, we're detecting multiple quantum signatures," his sensor officer called out. "The alien fleet is trying to coordinate some kind of response." "Show them our capabilities," Kyung-ho ordered. "Target practice pattern alpha." A single human ship moved forward, its quantum weapons charging. With surgical precision, it fired a shot that passed through the Draconian flagship's shields as if they didn't exist. The beam touched the hull just enough to leave a scorch mark, a warning of what could have been. "As you can see," Kyung-ho broadcast to all ships, "resistance would be pointless. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your shields cannot stop us. Your fastest ships cannot escape us." The Draconian fleet fell silent. Weapon ports closed as ship after ship powered down their systems. The mighty invasion force that had entered Earth's space with such confidence now floated helplessly, surrounded by technology they couldn't understand. "Begin boarding procedures," Kyung-ho commanded. "I want control of every enemy vessel within the hour." Teams of human Marines, equipped with powered armor that would have seemed impossible days ago, prepared to transport aboard the alien ships. The galaxy was about to learn just how far humanity had come while playing primitive. From his command chair, Kyung-ho watched the operation unfold. Years of deception, of hiding their true capabilities, had led to this moment. The aliens had fallen for humanity's greatest trick, showing weakness when they held overwhelming strength. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we're receiving transmissions from the Galactic Council. They're demanding an explanation." Kyung-ho smiled. Tell them one is coming. But first, we have an invasion fleet to secure. The space around Neptune continued to ripple as more human ships revealed themselves. The age of deception was over. Now it was time for the galaxy to meet the real humanity. Ambassador Jin-ho Park stood once again in the Galactic Council chamber, but the atmosphere couldn't have been more different from his first appearance. Gone were the snickers and mocking glances. The alien representatives sat in stunned silence as holographic displays showed Earth's true technological achievements floating in space around them. The massive screens displayed quantum drives that could cross galaxies in days, dimensional shields that made conventional weapons useless, and technology that could reshape the fabric of reality itself. Each revelation seemed to make the alien delegates sink further into their seats. High Counselor Merrick, his scales now a pale shade of gray, couldn't meet Jin-ho's eyes. The same beings who had laughed at humanity's primitive vessels now watched in silence as footage showed the complete surrender of the draconian invasion fleet. For centuries, humanity prepared in secret. Jin-ho's voice carried through the chamber. While you saw what you expected to see, a primitive species stumbling into space, we built, we planned, we waited. Today that waiting ends. The displays shifted to show Earth's hidden shipyards emerging from Jupiter's storms and Titan's seas. Massive construction facilities that had operated undetected for generations were now revealed in all their glory. At Earth's new embassy, Defense Minister Sun Ma-choi stood by a window overlooking the diplomatic district. Below, representatives from dozens of alien species waited in line, desperately seeking meetings with human officials. The same diplomats who had ignored Earth months ago now couldn't wait to establish better relations. Quite a change, isn't it? Hae-Yeon-lee commented, standing beside her old friend. They watched as another group of alien diplomats hurried past, their formal robes trailing behind them. Deception, Sun Mi mused, was humanity's greatest weapon all along. Not our ships, not our technology, but our patience and ability to play the long game. Back in the council chamber, Jin-ho activated another holographic display. This one showed the 100-year plan that had guided Earth's actions since before first contact. The aliens saw, for the first time, how thoroughly they had been deceived. Every primitive ship we launched was a carefully crafted prop, Jin-ho explained. Every technological breakthrough we shared was deliberately basic. We showed you exactly what you expected to see. A young species just learning to walk among the stars. The chamber erupted in voices as the implications became clear. Some delegates called for sanctions, others for diplomatic solutions, but most simply sat in shocked silence. Let me be clear, Jin-ho continued, his voice cutting through the chaos. Earth has no desire for conquest or revenge. We simply wish to ensure that no species ever again mistakes patience for weakness. In orbit around Earth, the captured draconian fleet floated powerless, their crews being processed by human authorities. The ships would be studied, not for their technology, which was far behind Earth's capabilities, but to understand how thoroughly their deception had worked. We offer the galaxy a choice, Jin-ho announced to the council. Continue as equals, sharing knowledge and resources fairly, or maintain the old system of predator and prey. But understand this, humanity will never again play the part of prey. Sun Mi watched from the embassy as the news spread across the galaxy. Species that had dismissed Earth as primitive were now racing to establish diplomatic relations. Trade agreements that had been impossible weeks ago were now being offered freely. It's almost funny, Hae-Yeon said, reading the latest diplomatic requests. They're offering us technology we surpassed centuries ago. Let them offer, Sun Mi replied. It shows they're learning. The galaxy was changing. The revelation of Earth's true capabilities had shattered the old power structures. Species that had relied on technological superiority found themselves dealing with a civilization that had mastered deception as thoroughly as it had mastered physics. In the council chamber, Jin-ho concluded his address. The age of deception is over. Now we begin a new chapter, one of true cooperation and mutual respect. As he stepped down from the podium, the chamber remained silent. The galaxy would never again underestimate humanity. The species that had pretended to crawl while secretly learning to fly had revealed its true nature, and nothing would ever be the same. The age of human deception had ended. The age of human leadership was about to begin.